Welcome everyone to Season 2 of the Rekles Racing League. Let's take a look at the weather. Looks like we're 72 degrees, 76% humidity, and a 2-mile-an-hour wind coming out of the north. That should make for some good, fast conditions. There was a little blue groove on the track during qualifying, but that didn't slow these guys down too much, with Cameron Peterson qualifying at 49.987. Josh Edmondson ran a 49.995. Bodie Cryer was a 50.125. We're glad to see some newcomers in the field here. We have Gary Green III, who ran a 50.358, and also newcomer Lon Franks in that black Monster Energy Traxxas number 9. He ran a 50.511. To round off the top 5 here today, we have Jeremy Sodorf, who ran a 50.659. Another newcomer, Tom Depke, back there rocking the Ivan Stewart Toyota colors. He ran a 50.855, and then Nick Leone coming in with a 50.898, and then Jack Kirk with a 51.400, and Scott M. Ford to round off the field with a 51.425. Well, thanks for joining, everyone. Sit back, relax, enjoy the action, and if you want to join, of course, sign up. We're currently running 2 races a week, a fixed setup race on Wednesday evenings, and an open setup race on Sunday mornings. We had a great turnout today with a 10-car field. Hopefully the start goes smoothly. As you can see, this pace car carries a lot of speed, and the guys in the outside lane have to really get on it to stay up with the rest of the pack, but we're all bunched up and ready to go green. Here we go. This marks the official start of the first race of Season 2. A little contact between Scott and Nick. As the field fans out, Cameron Peterson dives to the inside. Looks like Gary Green gets checked up on the outside a little bit. Jeremy gets into him, has to park it, causing a chain reaction. Down the first straight in turn 2, it's Cameron Peterson out front, Josh Edmondson right behind him, Bodie Cryer, Gary Green. Lon Franks dives to the inside to try to make up a position. Looks like Jack's up on the wall. That turn 2 is always tricky on the restarts. Cameron Peterson drifts a little wide as Josh Edmondson pulls up alongside him. Looks like Cameron might have the run around the outside, though. We'll see if he can hold it. Ooh, a little contact as he cuts in for turn 4. That'll straighten him out and get him bent out of shape a little bit. A little contact between Gary and Lon, which collects Tom. But everybody has a good presence of mind to get back on the track and keep this race going. Lap 1 in the books, we already have a lead change. Josh Edmondson now out front. Cameron Peterson charging to try to get that spot back. Dives to the inside. Bodie Cryer gets up on the barrier a little bit. Really wish iRacing would exempt the pace car from the camera list while it's parked. Into turn 2 for the second time. Josh Edmondson holds on to the lead. Bodie Cryer goes for a pass on Gary, but Gary has the inside line, gives him a fender. That damn pace car again. And here we go. Up through turn 3. Jeremy Soda catches a little traction and gets up on the wall. Gary Green charging to the outside around Lon as the lead pack bounces into turn 4. I apologize for the terrible sounding audio. I used DaVinci Resolve to edit these, and it doesn't like the sound of these trucks for some reason. So if anyone has any tips on how to get cleaner audio, I'm all ears. Josh Edmondson still out front. Cameron Peterson right behind him, followed by Bodie Cryer. And the pace car again. Looks like Tom was trying to dive on the inside on Gary. And we have a 3-car battle going here with Nick Leone, Jeremy Sodorf, and Scott Ford. These top 3 guys grouped up real tight coming into turn 3. It's going to be difficult to make up any positions up here because none of these guys are known for making mistakes very often. And that's exactly why we do allow light contact. If a car does get a little to the outside of a turn and you can get underneath them, you're allowed to throw them a little bit of a door, but not so much that it causes them to lose control. Number 9, Lon Frank, running a little wide, but carries enough speed down the straightaway. Looks like he's going to hit a speed of 101 miles an hour before the finish line jump, landing very smooth as he dives into turn 1. Gary Green right behind him, Tom Depke, and the pace car. Oh, looks like we have Nick Leone up on the wall and Jeremy Sodorf's pulling over. Let's see what happened here. Looks like Jeremy dives to the inside but can't get the car to rotate. Nick gets up on a wheel, and there we go. That's short course racing for you folks. And one of the side effects of making contact, if something like that should happen, the right thing to do would be to pull over and give the spot back. Luckily, we do have a competition caution at the halfway point of this race, so we'll be able to regroup the field and get everyone back up to speed. Looks like Scott Ford's drifting out a little wide as Jack Kirk's trying to run him down. Looks like Nick's back on all four wheels, and we're racing again. Looks like the field's starting to spread out a bit as we cross the line for lap 5. Josh Edmonds still out front. Looks like he taps the wall a little bit there and straightens him out. We'll see if that gives Cameron any kind of an advantage here, as Lon Franks starts to apply some pressure to Bodie Cryer. All in all, a pretty good racing going so far, considering how many cars are on the track and how difficult it is to see out of these trucks. Looks like Josh is stretching out his lead just a little bit coming up the back. But still, the top 4 are right there, ready to pounce if anything should happen. Gary Green and Tom here showing some good speed. Happy to have them with us, and hopefully they can make it to the rest of the races. You don't have to be a super fast alien like these guys here to race with us. All you have to do is know how to put down some consistent laps and have a good safety rating. As you can see, accidents do happen from time to time, and it's expected, but we try to keep them to a minimum. Bodie Cryer takes a wide entry. We'll see if Lon can dive up underneath him. Gets underneath there, showing some good car control. No contact, but looks like Bodie's going to get the run around the outside and take the inside coming into turn 2. Right-hand turns are always tricky, especially when the track's slick. But definitely a good place to make up a position on someone if they get out of shape a little bit. Let's shuffle back through the field here and see how everybody's doing. Looks like everybody's taking it kind of easy, waiting for that competition caution to come out. It's very important to save your car here. You'll notice the lap times generally start to fade towards the end of the race as the hard landings on this track and the higher RPMs really take their toll on these vehicles. Everyone lifts off to the gas here as we're going to regroup the field for the competition caution. The whole idea behind that is to try to get closer racing, and looks like our leaders are pulling into the pits. Not something we normally do during a competition caution, but I guess the pit was open, so why not? I imagine they're going to take fuel because this is a 14-lap race and most cars are set up for 10 laps. Looks like Josh gets out of the pits ahead of Cameron as the field comes around. We'll slow down and re-rack everybody on the back straight. There's a good look at how big this track is. It's, I'd say, one of the biggest tracks in the short course series that I'm aware of. It might have a comparable length to tracks like Crandon, which I've heard rumors we might get here in the near future. But this track does by far have the most elevation gain, and I think that's a great factor in an off-road race. Bodie Cryer getting ready to take us to the line here as everybody shuffles into position. And we're going green, but it looks like we lost our audio for a second. Let's see what's going on here. Well, I guess we'll have a moment of silence here for the restart as everyone's bumping and banging a little bit, trying to make up some positions on the restart. Your previous race leaders went into the pits and are now in the back of the pack. We'll see if they can work their way back up through there. Bodie Cryer just clipping the inside of that wall, and oh, big contact in the back. Let's go back and see what happened there. Tom Depke sets up for turn 2. Gets a little bump from Scott, which spins him out, and then he gets double punched by him and Jack, putting him over. Nick sneaks underneath him as a couple guys go around the outside, but Cameron Peterson got caught up in it, and at least Tom's back on all fours and going to get it turned around here. Very unfortunate. He was running a great race, and it looks like Scott Ford's upside down. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be flipped back over, so he'll have to get a tow. Cameron Peterson applying a lot of pressure to Jack as he dives to the inside. Just enough to get him to run a little wide and get underneath him. This is probably a lot of fun for Cameron, as normally he's out front by himself. And looks like Jeremy gets up on the wall. At least Cameron is able to stay out of him. Once these cars take a little bit of damage, they start to drive kind of funky, and you have to adjust your apexes. Yeah, it looks like Scott is in the pits. And here's your previous race leader, Josh Edmondson, working on Nick Leone here. I can speak from experience that Nick's not an easy person to get around. He definitely knows how to widen out his truck and try to keep you behind him. But in short course racing, that's the name of the game. Either you have speed or you have defense. And for the most part, when we get tight races together, it's hard to carry a lot of speed, so you have to resort to trying to block the guy in front of you. Looks like our audio is getting a bit crackly, so I'll turn it down here until it clears up. Nick gets a good run. Josh makes a little contact with him. Looks like Josh is going to run up the inside. We'll see if he can make the pass on him. Always hard to get the car to rotate from the inside, but Josh throws a big pendulum turn or Scandinavian flick to get the car to rotate. Gets the inside of turn 1. Looks like they're going to go side by side down the back straight. We'll see if he can make it stick. Looks like Nick was able to make up the difference. We'll see if he can hold on to this one right here. As Josh tries to dive to the inside. Good block. Take a look at Gary Green. Here is Lon Franks is still applying pressure to Bodie Cryer. This is a look at the new top 3 here. We have Bodie Cryer, Lon Franks, Gary Green. Looks like they have a pretty good gap on the rest of the field, but no breathing room for Bodie, as newcomer Lon Franks is charging hard. Bodie is one of those guys that's hard to intimidate because he's been doing this for so long. If you listen to his car, he's not even really hitting the rev limit or anything like that. He's just kind of lugging it through the corner, saving the engine, saving the tires, trying to hold on, because if you use up your car in the early part of this race, you won't have anything at the end. And after all, at the end of the race is what it all comes down to. Looks like Gary Green's right there. If these two get into it, he could easily take over the lead. Gary Green gets up on that inside wall a little bit, as Cameron Peterson's applying a lot of pressure to Nick. We'll see if we can get around him here. Cameron was the top qualifier in this race and last season's season champ. A bit of a bounce for Cameron coming through there. That's a very technical section. It's really hard to get a good entry and exit on turn 4 there. Gary Green sends it huge into the uphill landing, but pushes a little wide going into turn 1. Looks like Josh Edmondson right behind him, and Cameron Peterson slides up into Nick Leone and is able to make the pass. We'll see if Nick can charge back into turn 2 here. He has a run on him. We'll see if he can do anything with it. Right on Cameron's bumper as they go into the tricky right-hander. Here's a look at the top 5 as we go up the back straight. Bodie Cryer out front, Lon Franks in second, Gary Green the third in third, Josh Edmondson in the number 4 spot, and Cameron Peterson in 5th. Bodie Cryer stretches out his lead a little bit as we cross the line to begin lap 13 of 14. Looks like Josh Edmondson's going to apply a little pressure to Gary coming into turn 1 here. Looks like Gary was able to hold on to the spot as we come down the hill. Josh dives to the inside as he makes a little bit of contact coming out of the right-hander. We'll see if we can get a run on him coming up into turn 3 here. Looks like Josh is going to the inside, but Gary has the speed to hold him off. But we'll see if we can hold on to it with this kind of pressure coming into the tricky turn 4 up here. One little bad bounce puts you out in the loam, and oh, there goes Josh. Perfect, slides right underneath him. Great pass, makes it clean. And Josh Edmondson will take over the number 3 spot after working his way up from the back of the pack. As well as Cameron Peterson is right behind him. We'll see if he has anything for Gary as we take the white flag. Bodie Cryer still hanging on to the lead. Lon Franks right behind him. Oh, and it looks like Bodie struggles to get the car to rotate, gets out in the loam a little bit. Lon's able to come up the inside. We'll see if he has anything for him here. Oh, he's got a fender up on him. He's going to give him just a little bump, just enough to move him out of the way as they go wheel to wheel up the back straight. That right there is probably one of the most consistent ways to make a pass on this track. We'll see if it works for Lon. Looks like he has the inside going into turn 4. He's going to hang on to it, blocks the inside. And yes, Lon Frank holds on to the position. He was able to steal it from Bodie. Not an easy thing to do, but he just wore him down lap after lap and used a little bit of a fender move to get under him. And this will conclude race 1. Oh, it looks like Nick Leone's running out of gas, and here comes his buddy Jack Kirk. Oh, he gives him a little push as he shows us his figure skating skills. We'll see if that was enough to knock Nick across the line, and it looks like it was. Tom Depke sneaks through too, and there's Scott M. Ford, who unfortunately got rolled over and had to pit, so He'll cross the finish line a lap down, but with a nice clean truck and all his body panels. And there's your official results and the current season standings. Well, that was a great race and a good turnout. Thanks everyone for taking the time to join us. Congratulations to Lon Franks for taking his first win in the season opener in the Rekles Racing League. Well, if that looked like fun for you, be sure to sign up, because I guarantee you're not going to find a better race on iRacing at this time in the Pro 4 category. Looks like Lon's going to set up for some victory donuts here, but iRacing's going to cut us off right there. Don't forget to subscribe and check out some of our other races. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.